essay! Wow, Rearm Kaci essays, guys. I didn't know people love her so much that people are writing these essays. So we're gonna read, what do global players think? Now keep in mind, global still don't have, there's a few more Rearm that's not available in global. I think Rearm Kim Chul-so, Rearm Alex, Livia Tennis is not available in global. So I think Rearm Kaci, yeah, by far she's going to be the strongest 3-cost defender in global for the time being. It's been 2 weeks thoughts on Kaci so far. Personally, I really think they need to raise her cost to 4 or nerf her in some way in challengers. Literally 99.9% of teams lead with Kaci. She needs a nerf, guys. Too strong. Broken. I mix in global she is broken, but in KR she is very good but not broken. Evaded Gauntlet this season due to lost streak, but that's mostly due to multiple factors: Awakened Horizon, Rearm Hansorim, and Kaci. She is flexible, but in some of his video we do see that she gets melted pretty fast. You also have to remember that lots of good frontline tanks are banned. Rearm Alex, Awakened Jake, Jury, and Livia. Oh, they're talking about in KR. Okay. Awakened Nayo Bin is called Paper Bin. Awakened Hilde is too costly. Ray is Ray. Rearm Orca and Estarossa aren't what they used to be. Ooh! Rearm Orca, Estarossa aren't what they used to be anymore. Just got to Diamond rank a while. I haven't seen a bit of Kaci here so far. I've never lost a single game against her. Maybe at a higher rank she is strong. Because of weak backline, I fought a few Kaci users and a Kaci user too. Kaci is super good, especially with a 2-cost, but some Diamond and lower Kaci team doesn't have strong enough roster. Fair enough. I don't see a reason to nerf her. She's finally good after being one of the worst sub-tanks. She might fit on every team, but she's not like a Awakened Horizon broken or game-changing. Maybe if she output a crap ton of damage and on top of that, can wall even the best defender shredders, she might need a bit of tuning. But I feel there are counters to her like Old Admin Rifleman, Ifrit, and Hansorim. Awakened Horizon is broken on another level with little counterplay apart from Awakened Lee Suyon ETB and other entrance damages. Soldier comms also met her super fast, so there's a wide range of counterplay to her. Wow. By sheer statistics, she is when every team is using her. I see Awakened Horizon less than Kaci this week. Yeah, that's because Kaci is easier to access and Galgura skin, right? Every counter you talk about literally are just counters to defenders. I'm challengers too, and effing everyone is using Kaci. I don't even really see much Awakened Horizon now because everyone knows how to counter with Awakened Lee Suyon and Machine Collector. He got -12. What's this essay? Yes, I'm in Challenger too, so I know the amount of Kaci Bins around this week. Kaci Bins having more general counters to her that can be slotted in every team is what makes her somewhat easy to deal with. You ought to have a defender shredder for it, but for Awakened Horizon, you need a specific counter, like running Anti-Striker plus Air on Awakened Lee Suyon. You can't just slap it into any team. She's quite useless or bad running on that set after Awakened Horizon dies. I prefer running Mei CDR Awakened Lee Suyon because it's not like my Awakened Lee Suyon was one-shotting the enemy Awakened Horizon anyways. Mei CDR does 50% on entry, so it's not too bad. You see Kaci more because she's a general defender. You can use her in every comp basically. Awakened Horizon is something you build your comp on, not something you can put in any comp. But Awakened Horizon is still very much broken, just not usable in every comp. So yes, she's so good, she can be used in every comp. I think you're seeing her role very narrowly too. She's a no-brainer lead, which brings her down to 2 cost for every match. This enables you to build out a lot more comps because she barely costs anything and will pretty much enable every frontline. Even as a panic staller, her value at 2 costs is insane. I don't get why most comp games you can look at usage stats to see which characters are broken, but it somehow doesn't apply to this argument? Hell, CS even has its own system with rotation bans. -8! Okay, what is this essay? Why Kaci Bin needs an essay, guys? It's just a lolly, alright? It's just a lolly, calm down. Okay, what's this essay? Kaci Bin takes time to ramp up her tankiness. She needs around 2 out of 3 sprouts to be tanks, enough to wall Hansorim. Okay, so if you can, just melt her through in the first few seconds she is deployed. I play Kaci Bins too, but I'll never play her alone, knowing Hansorim melts her and even Awakened Lee Suyon Mei CDR can melt her pretty fast. Even with Carman, using something like Pot's Damage Amplification or Detroit Defense Break melts her. Okay? Slightly unrelated, but I think you're just salty not having Kaci Bins. Ooh, salty! I mean, I've seen your post about the Maestra versus Maestra first play, and it seems to me that you don't have Kaci Bins and instead use Horizon. Honestly, I think it's more so people are using Maestra with Kaci Bins. Allowing them to use Maestra quicker is what is pissing you off. She is very good, but not game-breakingly good. There are very generic counterplays to her which you should have on a team anyway to counter other defenders too. Her self-enabling as a frontline is not that strong. She gets melted very quickly if the right player knows how to counter her. Solo tank Kaci Bins is not strong. It's the follow-up tank too, which allows her to ramp up, which makes her strong. I don't find myself scared if someone just puts one Kaci Bins on the field with no other tank. I find it scary when they follow up with something like an Awakened Jake to support her. What makes her scary? Wow! 6 upvotes for this essay! Okay, what do you guys think of this essay, guys? I want you guys to be honest. Is it worth it? Would you guys write this essay for 6 upvotes? I think it's good, right? Mate, you need to climb because no one is using Maestra, besides a very select few. I've ran into more Evolve 1 teams than actual Maestra teams. Kaci Bins enables Maestra, yes, but she enables everyone. That's my point. You even describe exactly why she's good. I don't even know why you are evaluating her purely as a main tank with no support. Any tank will effing melt to that. I even melt Awakened Jakes who run absolutely no support tanks whatsoever with my mech team. Does that make him a terrible defender now? What even is this argument? -2! I'm not talking about others running Maestra, but you running Maestra. You are just salty about the fact that you don't have quite a good tank to make your Maestra work. She's not broken, she's very good. Why don't you give me an example of how she's broken? Her enabling a comp is not broken by any means. We can say that for the upcoming Liva Tennis and Rearm Alex, she's strong for now, but it's not broken by any means. I did though, a 2 cost because there's no downside to using her as a leader. Buffs the entire frontline with her leader skill, invincibility to extend her stalling capabilities, Jury is broken, and she does less with Kaci. She does less than Kaci. Rearm Orca had similar healing passives when she was first released, and they had to up her cost. And I don't know how listing out other broken defenders to defend Kaci is exactly helping you. Those are constantly banned for a reason. I think your definition of broken and my very good is quite different. I classify broken as anything that has basically little to no counterplay at all. While something that's very good is super strong but still has a decent amount of counterplay, Kaci has counterplay to her. Something like Rushcom or Awakened Horizon doesn't have as much of a counterplay to it. Okay, but I think Awakened Horizon is very broken. I don't think I've ever said she wasn't. And even Sage, Hardish counters in Machine Collector, Awakened Jake, Karin or Awakened Lee So-yeon. The problem is that those are literally hard counters meant to counter mechs and flying characters specifically. What you have listed are just generic counters to defenders, and by your definition, no defender is broken because there's a Ranger class. I'm looking at the overall utility and what kind of gameplay they enable. Alright, we gotta settle this debate. We gotta settle this debate, guys. Is she strong or is she broken? What do you guys think? Hey, just a fun fact, Awakened Jake doesn't counter Awakened Horizon, it just makes her slightly less intimidating. Awakened Jake still loses to Awakened Horizon even with the stasis, and even better if without the stasis. That's how broken Awakened Horizon is, that she still counters a specifically made mech counter. Awakened Lee So-yeon can get unlucky with missing her ETB against Awakened Horizon. As for the rest, they are counters, but still does not make Awakened Horizon super safe to play against. Those in my experience only happens in the lower tiers. Anyone good enough to climb knows how to time it. And I don't see how can't solo her means that Awakened Jake isn't a counter. You don't evaluate this game on solo potential. Awakened Horizon solo is easy to take care of. Hence why you don't see people who first drop Awakened Horizon with New Detroit far past Masters, which is literally the whole point I was making. Actually, you know Port Awakened Horizon comps exist, right? Awakened Lee So-yeon with double bullet has less hit than Horizon with port buff plus operator evasion buff. Awakened Lee So-yeon misses every time that happens. You know why? Cause I play anti-Awakened Horizon ASLY before and also play Port Awakened Horizon. It's not just lower ranks. Port Awakened Horizon makes anti-Awakened Horizon ALSY look really bad. Missing as in Awakened Horizon dodging it, not people mistiming the skill to hit during her invincibility. Are you aware of the algorithm ban system? You literally have a direct result from actual statistics when they exist someplace other than your imagination. I stomped people with Kaci for the whole week and she didn't get banned. You can't say that about units like Grammary or Rafaela who got banned by the algorithm after their first half of a week. Maybe Rearm Kaci will get algo banned in her third week, I don't know. Well, she is banned this week, right? If she was actually winning that much, she'll be banned already. You remind me of that guy who went on a rant about how busted Awakened So-yeon is in PvP, even though she's only banned once or twice ever. Wow. This sounds like a you problem, and we have a statistical evidence that it is somewhat of a you problem. Get good. 3 upvotes. Wow. We'll see in 8 hours. I wouldn't be surprised if she was banned this week at all. And yes, I'm aware of the ban system. I may agree that Rearm Kaci Bins being very strong, but he is right that he probably will get banned. And yes, new units, Rearm included, are ban immune for 1 week. Egg on your face! Turn out she is banned. Ooh, he's back to put egg on your face! Ooh, let's go! Not faster than Grammary or Rafila. Not as far as Grammary or Rafila. Which is what I said. So? Ooh, counter argument. Counter argument, guys. What do you guys think? To be fair, other leading 2-cost rearms like Laura and Alex are broken too when unbanned. Hell, Alex doesn't even need to lead. The only potential problem I see when Rearm Alex comes, she and Rearm Kaci might rotate in jail every other week, and those two will become staple in every effing team, and Awakened defenders will get demoted to pocket picks. Then Stealth is literally dead, and the meta will get very boring unless one or both of them goes ban 2 straight. I was using because just Golgura skin. Now, I am the Apex Predator. Wow, Apex Predator for liking Golgura. Kawaii. Apex Predator. You're looking at the Apex Predator, guys. Okay. Climb from Platinum 5 to Diamond 2 this week. Alright. Kaci's counter is Awakened Soyun. That's why I am use Awakened Soyun as a leader. If Kaci get Healing Reflux, she down so easily. Ooh, essay! I was using Rearm Kaci Bins in RTA. I would say is this. She is very strong when you set her as the leader. But you need a good amount of setup to use her properly, such as a frontline already. Setup to benefit from the barrier when she is deployed. And having several healers already available when she's inside her flower bed. Of course, I was using some jank attack speed bruiser build that would have been better on Awakened Mina. I do plan to use some of my blue beans and gold beans later on to regear her on a proper attack speed build with tank substats to fully maximize her use of her passives as a frontline unit. But any build can work for her. You need to keep in mind that in KR server, there are far better frontline tanks to use. Liver Tennis as an example, then Kaci Bins and KR have more units in their roster that allow her to be used in other comps. In soldier teams, there's Acolyte, who is basically the staple healer for soldier comps that synergizes as well with Rearm Kaci Bins, and the fact that soldier teams don't have many good frontline units anyways, with Admin Shieldman, Admin Swordfighter, and Kang Min Woo being the only reliable frontline unit soldier teams tend to use, and Overflow is generally used more in mech comps than soldier comps. And mech teams have Rearm Titan, which most mech teams that run Rearm Titan tend to very stolly running some counter healers anyways. That being said, she does have several weaknesses. Across from the typical healing reflux and healing reduction counters to her, cough cough, Awakened Soyun, she also happens to be a ramping tank, needing some time to stack her Sprout buff in order to grant herself the Blossom buff. She also needs to be constantly attacking to maximize her survivability, meaning units that can CC her can also screw her over. As for the current RTA meta, I'm not expecting Rearm Kaci to be banned out in the KR server, although I'll be surprised if she's banned out. But in the rationale that many of the frontline tanks have a tendency to be banned out but in the global server because Carmen and Evelyn are available, I will not be surprised if she is banned out alongside with Carmen and Evelyn. Why do you need to say ban out? Just say ban. For PvE, I've seen people using her as a viable alternative tank in Die 50 Hospital comms to Awaken Jake and Awaken Hilde, and even use her as a main tank for Dispatch Die 50. I've seen a few team comms in Discord, but there's a good YouTube video for reference, please post it here in this thread. Wow, Rearm Kaci essays, guys. Alright guys, I'm going to link it to you guys, so go ahead and like whichever essay that you like. Upvote whichever essay that you guys like, alright? So it's cool essay.